And I'm Chenue Her, 4:30 right now on your Thursday morning. Here with us right now, Jared Piepenberg, with a look at the forecast this morning. I know we mentioned some people still kind of digging out this morning, but the good thing is the drive was smooth.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
No
so
snowfall.
much better.
Yeah.
So much easier. Especially.
Yes.
Yeah.
You will have to almost be Minnesotan to your core.
Yeah, get close to those torch lights.
Descendants of Vikings.
Seriously.
To really handle what's coming ahead. Thank you for joining us here at Fox 9 and Fox Local. I'm Chenue Her.
And I'm Lauren Andrego.
Later today, some suspects set to go on trial next month are actually now expected to plead guilty. So our Bill Keller live outside the federal courthouse in Minneapolis this morning with the very latest on this. Good morning, Bill. Minnesota is now at the center of what ICE is calling its largest immigration enforcement operation ever. 2,000 agents are reportedly in the state to arrest immigrants who they say are here illegally, with a focus on criminals. Venezuela's oil industry is being overhauled. The country's acting president signed a law opening the nation's oil sector to privatization.
Let's get right to Chenue Her in a live center. We are working to learn more. What do we know at this point, Chenue?
Good morning, Tom and Kelly. So what we do know right now is that there are still law enforcement over there in that area. Roads around that area are still appears to be blocked off at this time. We know deputies are on scene investigating what they are calling a critical incident at Stewartville High School and Middle School. So as of this morning, schools in Stewartville are shut down for the day. Classes are canceled. What we're taking a look right here is a map of where Stewartville High School is. It's about an hour and a half south of the Twin Cities Metro here. It's near the Rochester International Airport. 519, someone who has it all figured out, Cody Matz.
Please tell us about the stamp.
Please let us know what's going to be going on here,
good.
Cody.
Even I couldn't keep a straight face on that one.
All right, 520 now. Getting over to our Labubu over here, checking the weather for us today.
Did they do anything?
They're just adorable.
They're so ugly, they're cute.
Yeah.
Okay.
So actually, I guess with that in mind, you're not a Labubu.
Well,
sorry.
if you're gonna go, let's go do the weather here.
If you're just getting inside
I'm a small
the door.
human and I look small. So. That's
fair.
5:49. It is St. Patrick's Day. Oh my gosh, it's my dad's birthday.
Oh God, Chenue.
I just realized that.
Text your dad.
Yeah, I will do that. Happy birthday, Dad.
If you're watching.
I was going to say, he's watching,
Happy birthday,
isn't he?
Mr. Her.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Dad.
Happy birthday.
2 degrees on your birthday, Dad, to start the day.
You're welcome.
Wide receiver A.J. Brown was caught reading it during the team's playoff game. So Brown says he often reads the book during games just as a way to refocus after big plays. Huh.
Thought it was odd.
And he just pulled the book out and started reading?
Yeah.
No, you don't read anyways. So.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. Thanks, Chenue. Thanks for that.
Sorry, I put your business out there.
Yeah, put my business out. I read. I listen to audiobooks.
That's not reading.
That count, right,
Ooh, hot
Cody?
take.
That's listening.
You want to venture into the hot take
Hey,
realm
you know
because
what?
This is cold out.
I'm not going to defend anyone, nor myself. I don't really read either. I listen to audiobooks. But
Let's talk about some good news for any expecting parents out there. Hannah,
I liked this.
baby, listen. You might
Hello,
like this
listen up
story.
to this. You're a lucky girl in there, lucky kid.
Okay, trending right now. Apparently, women aren't looking for Mr. Right anymore. They're looking for Mr. Fix-It instead. So unfortunately, that's not going to be me. It's called the Bob the Builder dating trend. And this morning, we are tracking the latest on their conditions as local leaders look for answers. Thanks for joining us this morning right here on Fox 9 and Fox Local. I'm Chenue Her.
And I'm Hannah Flood. It is Thursday, August 28th. Obviously, a lot to get to here this morning. We'll start with this. Just down the block from Annunciation Church, where all of this happened, there's a growing memorial where people have been stopping by to drop off flowers and pay respect to the victims.
It has now been almost 24 hours since this attack that killed 2 children and hurt 17 others. Our Saquon is joining us live there this morning, showing us how things look out there now and how you can help and say you were out there when all of this unfolded yesterday morning. What does it look like out there now?
Well, guys, I mean, even just driving here, it felt different.
Thank you for that. We'll check in with you here in just a little bit.
And now we want to get an update on the survivors of this mass shooting.
Yeah, victims were brought to multiple hospitals after all of this happened, and some are still receiving treatment. Some are still in that hospital this morning. Our Shane Wells is live at HCMC in downtown Minneapolis with the very latest on their conditions. Good morning, Shane.
Yeah, good morning. It was definitely all hands as we get updates on these victims and their conditions.
Yeah, just still a lot developing early this morning. Just heartbreaking to hear all of that, but we'll continue to update you on it. Thank you, Shane.
Thanks, Shane. 5:06 here this morning. Of course, the community is still processing what happened yesterday. It can be hard, and it's even more heartbreaking to hear about it from a student.
Yeah, our Rob Olson talked to one brave fifth grader who recounted what he witnessed inside the chapel. So we do want to warn you, the details here are difficult to hear.
What were you doing when this happened?
Well, we just got into mass, and it was like 3 minutes after. It was very scary, and so just kind of crazy.
Just powerful to hear.
Fifth grader.
A kid talking about that and imagine them going through it. A lot of parents are now having difficult conversations with their own kids as they get ready to start the school year.
Yeah, a youth mental health expert joined us to give some tips on how parents can approach this subject with their children. At 4:31 now, a memorial for Alex Priddy continues to grow at the site of Saturday's shooting along Nicollet Avenue in Minneapolis. He is now the second Minnesotan to be killed by federal agents during the ongoing immigration crackdown here in the Twin Cities. And now there's a legal battle over the evidence in this shooting. A federal judge in Minnesota is blocking the Trump administration from destroying or altering evidence, with the hearing in the case scheduled for today.
Yeah, and this comes as state investigators are pushing forward with their own probe despite being blocked from the shooting scene on a Saturday. The Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, which
also happening today, another hearing scheduled in the lawsuit filed by Minnesota and the Twin Cities trying to stop the surge of ICE agents. Attorney General Keith Ellison, along with the cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul, are suing DHS Secretary Kristi Noem and the Trump administration, calling the ICE operations in Minnesota illegal. The DOJ has called the lawsuit frivolous. Today's motion hearing that is set for 9 a.m. at the federal courthouse in Minneapolis. Governor Tim Walz spoke again yesterday, imploring President Trump to end the surge of agents in the state, while border control leadership says their operation will continue.
My question is, what's the plan, Donald Trump? What is the plan?
Being anarchists and rioters.
meantime, knew this of those.
And Minnesota business leaders, they are also joining the calls for ICE to leave the state. More than 60 CEOs from Minnesota-based companies are calling for peace following the shooting of Alex Priddy. The list here includes CEOs of the major Minnesota-based businesses and sports teams. That includes Best Buy, Target, 3M, and General Mills, along with the Twins and the Vikings. In a letter released by the Chamber of Commerce, the Minnesota Chamber of Commerce, the CEOs say, in part with yesterday's tragic news, we are calling for an immediate de-escalation of tensions and for state, local, and federal officials to work together to find real solutions. You can find that full letter and the list of businesses on fox9.com. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for starting off your morning with us here on Fox 9 and Fox Local. I'm Chenue Her, 5 o'clock now on your Wednesday as we take a live look here outside in downtown St. Paul this morning. Looking a little different this morning, Cody, than what we saw yesterday. It's not raining, but it is crunchy out there.
It is crunchy. That's a perfect word for it. If it's not crunchy, then it's... We'll talk more on that. That 7-day forecast coming up here in the next 19 minutes.
All right, we'll enjoy our 39 and mellowness today before that. Thank you, Cody. All right, right now we are taking a live look at the U.S. Capitol this morning, where Minnesota fraud will be in the spotlight. A congressional committee is holding a hearing to discuss fraud in our state with several Minnesota lawmakers. Leah Bino is joining us live in the newsroom this morning with more on what's expected. Good morning, Leah.
Good morning. Yes, the U.S. House Committee on .com. Back to you, Chenue.
All right, yeah, a lot to follow with that this morning. Thank you, Leah. And as we keep an eye on that, we also want to talk about this, a new report that is highlighting potential fraud within another state program. The Office of the Legislative Auditor just released an audit of the Department of Human Services Behavioral Health Administration, revealing serious oversight failures.
After a two-day manhunt, 2 sleepless nights, law enforcement have apprehended Vance Bolter. That's 48 hours that law enforcement involved in a complex and dangerous manhunt.
The man charged with shooting 2 state lawmakers is set to face a judge today. We have the latest on the arrest of Vance Belter following a weekend-long manhunt and also the latest tributes for State Rep Melissa Hortman and her husband as prosecutors start seeking justice. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us this morning right here on Fox 9 and Fox Local. I'm Chenue Her.
I'm Anna Flood. It is Monday, June 16th. We obviously have a lot of news to get to, but we do want to start you off with a look at your forecast. We've got Cody Matz here. Cody, tracking some potential storms here today.
Indeed. It's going to be one of those days where you just got to keep an eye to the sky. Coming up here on the Nines, guys.
All right, thank you, Cody. 4:32 right now. The man suspected of shooting 2 lawmakers and their spouses behind bars this morning, arrested south of the metro after an extensive manhunt this weekend.
Yeah, now Vance Belter will make his first appearance later today. Tactical teams were called in to find him.
Now, this all started with a 911 call early Saturday morning reporting a shooting at the home of State Senator John Hoffman. The caller said a masked man came to their door and shot their parents. Police found Hoffman and his wife Yvette with multiple gunshot wounds. Thankfully, they survived and are recovering in the hospital. Now, because Hoffman was a lawmaker, police went to the homes of other nearby lawmakers as a precaution, including former House Speaker Melissa Hortman's home in Brooklyn Park. Police say they arrived to see Belter, dressed as a police officer, shoot and kill Hortman's husband Mark through the front door before running away. Hortman herself was also found dead in that home. The suspect's vehicle was still in the driveway at the time, and police say there were multiple guns inside and a list with dozens of names of politicians. Now, this triggered a multi-state manhunt, which ended last night with Belter arrested near his rural home. Officials say the 57-year-old eventually crawled out and surrendered. Doug Luzader reports from Washington this morning. Democrats are taking a stand over immigration enforcement. Doug, thank you for being with us this morning. And let's start here. How much are the ICE operations in Minnesota right now impacting this potential shutdown later this week?
Well, that's all of it. I mean, you know, this absent that Friday night.
Right.
Yeah, definitely something that we're going to have to kind of wait and see how this all plays out. But of course, a lot of eyes on all of this going on.
Yeah. All right. Doug, thanks for letting us pick your brain.
Our Chenue Her is live this morning outside of the Law Enforcement Command Center in Blaine with the latest on the intense search for this suspect. Good morning, Chenue.
Yeah, good morning, Leah. So as we enter day 2 of the search for this suspect, Vance Belter, we are out here at the Law Enforcement Command Center in Blaine, waiting to see if there is going to be an update this morning. So this was actually where yesterday Governor Tim Walz first made that big update that Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband died in this attack. And so we'll continue to be out here and wait to see if there are any updates. But as far as that manhunt goes, again, day 2 of this, as authorities look for this man right here. This is 57-year-old Vance Belter. This is the suspect that law enforcement right now and the FBI offering a $50,000 reward for any information that leads to finding him for an arrest and conviction of Belter. You can see in the third picture there, he is wearing a police uniform outside one of the victim's homes. Now, they say he showed up impersonating a police officer. You'll notice he's wearing a rubber mask as well in that picture. It appears to be a Halloween mask that looks like an old man that covers up his entire head. And here's a look at that vehicle that Belter drove last night. Law enforcement on scene at Representative Hortman's house, putting yellow police tape up around that vehicle, going through the car for hours.
Chenue Her is live at the state capitol where a couple of memorials are growing right now. Chenue, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Tom and Hannah. Just minutes ago, another person stopped by the memorial here to drop off some flowers and a card. As you see, it continues to grow. This is honoring Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband, Mark. You see a picture of them right there at the top of the memorial, along with several flowers and cards to remember Melissa Hortman and her husband, Mark. And, you know, this just shows the long time service that she has provided here to the state of Minnesota and Minnesotans, both her as well as John Hoffman, Senator John Hoffman. They have dedicated many, many years to serving the people of Minnesota. And among those remembering Speaker Melissa Hortman is Representative Kelly Morrison. She calls Melissa Hortman one of the most consequential speakers in state history.